Hey everyone! Holy shiver me whiskers, we finally got to here. So, USA and Canada delivery specifications for broadcast delivery. As always, check with your local supplier because in the United States and Canada there's quite a few. And each of them kind of want the same, but they kind of might want a different build. So the build that I'm going to show you today is literally what they call an RTA, which is ready to wear. This could be a cut to length. There can be a lot of other glossary behind it. So please check with your supplier before we crack on. Now, this is going to be a pre-course starter. Now, the reason it is because there's so much to keep in mind when you're doing a USA and Canada one. Canada has mandated of captions, which are called CEA captions. USA is not, but can accept them. So it really depends on your budget, your turnaround, what you're trying to accomplish. But if you are going to Canada, they are mandatory, so you need to do it. 5.1 in stereo is the norm. Throughout the rest of the world, 5.1 kind of got messed up with Dolby E. Through UK, it's not really popular, very much not popular. And stereo is probably the one to do. So what they did in the early doors of America was track 1 to 6 would be the 5.1 mix, and then 7 and 8 would be the stereo mix of that. And it allows people to extrapolate out the 7 and 8 to make it stereo. So CEA's Consumer Electronics Association, that is a key thing for the States, but, and there's a big but, there's two types. 608 is kind of, well, it is, for the SD community. It was the first one to arrive, and then when HD pitched up, they made them 708. And as you can see by here, it's kind of a huge step, and you've got to be very careful what you're trying to accomplish here. The one at the bottom here is the one I want to kind of really pull out. Captions position to fix. So in 608, putting captions in certain areas and micro positioning, that sort of stuff. In 608, it is the bottom center, black box on white text is the absolute normal what you're trying to do. 708, you can put the captions anywhere you wish, you can have different colors associated with them and all sorts of stuff. So if you're going to try to get a 708 and down convert, air quotes, to a 608, it's going to fail miserably because it mightn't bring the translation across and you could potentially lose captions. What a lot of people do is that they'll have a 608 and they'll just let the distributors to up convert to the 708, which basically means it's jamming the information in there, but it won't bring along all the cool stuff that you can see on there. Also, CEA608 was kind of the pioneer of doing the burnt in dots on line 21. But what we're going to be going for is the VANC. And the VANC is allowing metadata to be squirted into an MXF file. If you're putting it into a QuickTime or a ProRes in particular, it's going to go onto the timecode or the text track as well. So we're not burning information into the picture, we're putting data into the VANC. So 708 standard closed captioning, and it's kind of focused completely on the digital side. 608 is kind of focusing completely on the SD side, and the EBU teletext is a different kettle of fish altogether, which we'll go over in a second. So which non-linears do 608? Now, I'll tell you what, this is really interesting. When I started digging down, and as of today, these are the key that I'm looking at. So Premiere Pro, Final Cut, Avid, Flame, and Resolve. Flame's out of the run altogether. Now, the reason I put it in here is because I've been talking about it a lot, but Flame is not meant to do this. It might, but why would you tie up a Flame suite on messing around with CEA captions or OP47 captions? A normal workflow or a pipeline for Flame would be finish the edit, export a file, and then the master control room or the MCR room or the assistant or anything, they would then use third-party applications to then put that together. Now at Autodesk, I apologize if I've let a cat out of a bag or there's an amazing release coming up soon, but as of today in these releases, that's where I'm at. Now Resolve 16, this is interesting. So there was just literally the other day 16.1 that's come out. Now I'm leaving the 16 and 16.1 because there is a bug which I've logged with Blackmagic that in XDCam on the MP2 codec, you can't burn in 608 even though it says it's a possibility. They've looked at it, they said, yep, we've replicated it. So only ProRes will be able to come out to that, but it's a bug, and I'm sure that's going to be, pardon the pun, resolved. So what does just 708? There's a lot of red here, people. So Premiere Pro and the Adobe guys have really focused on this, and they've done a cracking job, to be fair. What can do both? I'm sorry, but Premiere's coming through here. Now, I'm not a fanboy. Let me get this right. I'm not a fanboy, and this is only the non-linears. There's a bucket load of pieces of software out there that can do this, and I'm not talking about this. Is all focused on non-linear. So can I use it for the rest of the world? No, is the answer. No. Now, the reason I'm saying no is that in the UK, when you've got a thing called OP47, which is a part of the teletext family, and that's also down in Australia with OP42 for SD and OP47 magazine lines down there. In the UK, you have a creative selection for closed captioning. CE8 is white text on black and is positioned at the bottom center. 708 allows a bit of color and move around. In the UK, you really need to follow an absolute pattern to do it. And I'll put a link of where the BBC guidelines are. And if you just grab the CE8 and tried to mash it together and do it, it wouldn't work. And something to be very careful of, none of the non-linears do OP47 correctly. Premier's trying to do OP47 for Australia on line 801. It kind of works and it's great, but I haven't had that feedback from the broadcaster to say, this is fantastic. So here it is here. So the word OP47 is a very loose term because it's the line of data that they're trying to accomplish here. So in the UK, it's 888. Sorry, not the lines. This is the magazine decoding on the set-top boxes to be able to see it. 801 is for the Oz, and for France, it's 889. So, can you do it? No. Should you do it? No. What you want to accomplish here is allowing yourself to get a caption provider to do it correctly and get it out. For the North American and Canadian marketplace, the CEA608 and 708 is absolutely fine to be doing it within the non-linear. As always, make sure you're not putting it over anything in particular. And what the series is going to go through is how to get out a 5.1 and stereo or a 7.1 mix, and also the CEA on the non-linears. All right, guys, this was a quick video to kind of preempt you for this massive onslaught of these things coming through. And as always, have a great day.